2 of chapter 5. We're now going to take a look at reciprocal identities. Reciprocal means we just flip the fraction, right? So here are the 6 reciprocal identities. Sine can be rewritten as 1 over cosecant of an angle. Cosine of an angle is 1 over secant of that angle, and all those as follows. And you can also rewrite them the other way, right? So for instance, when I'm talking about sine, I can rewrite this. So if I have cosecant of theta equals 1 over sine of theta. And this comes in handy because I don't have cosecant and I don't have secant or cotangent in my calculator, but I do have sine, cosine, and tangent. So that will come, these reciprocal functions will come in handy. Now here's an example. We want to find cosine of theta if secant of theta is 5/3. So if secant of theta is 5/3, well, cosine of theta is the same thing as 1 over secant of theta, right? So if secant of theta is 5/3, then right, secant of theta 5/3. Now what is 1 divided by 5/3? Well, that's 3/5, right? All I have to do is just flip the fraction there. Okay, so there's one basic problem there. Make sure you watch out for when you're finding these that you don't use these buttons are not in your calculator, right? So this sine raised to the -1, it's not sine raised to the -1, so that's not 1 over sine, okay? That we'll get into that later. That's sine inverse, so that we don't use that to find the reciprocals, okay? So don't do that. Okay, how about this one? We want to find sine of theta given cosecant of theta is negative square root 12 over 2. So remember, we just flipped the fraction, right? There's a couple ways you could reduce this root 12 to begin with, right? That'd be 2 root 3, right? And then let me start writing this right. Cosecant of theta equals negative 2 root 3 over 2. So then 2's cancel, so I get cosecant of theta equals negative root 3. Now I can flip that fraction, so cosecant theta equals 1 over negative root 3. Rationalize the denominator, multiplying by root 3 on top and bottom, so we get sine theta. Oh, and when I flip that, I should have changed this right here to sine, right? It's negative root 3 over positive 3. Or that negative can be on top or bottom or to the side, it doesn't matter. Okay, and you could have started off with just flipping it to begin with, so then sine of theta is equal to negative 2 over root 12. Then you could go ahead and multiply top and bottom by root 12, or you could break down root 12, right? So this would be 2 root 12 negative over 12. Then you can break down so this would be negative root 12 over 6. Break down root 12 now. That's going to be 2, because 4 times 3, right? 4, and we know the square root of 4 is 2, so 2 root 3. Then we got 6. That's going to break down to 3 and a negative 1. So we get the same answer, negative root 3 over 3. Okay, let's go ahead and do the homework problems. We're just looking on page 496, just looking at number 77 and number 83. So just looking at those two. Take a look at number 77, number 83. Okay, so here they are. Secant of theta given cosine of theta equals 2/3. That one's pretty easy, right? Want to find sine of theta given cosecant of theta equals root 8 over 2. So you get to reduce that root 8 and then go ahead and flip your fractions. Alright, first one's pretty easy. All we have to do is just flip that fraction 3/2. This one, we could flip it first. Alright, you could break down that root 8. It's 2 root 2. 2's would cancel, so you get 1 over root 2. Oops, root 2 multiplied by root 2 on top and bottom. And we get root 2 over 2. So sine of theta equals root 2 over 2. Where could you find the angle? What's the angle that gives you root 2 over 2? You could look at your chart and find where on root 2 over 2 get you that theta. Okay, so that's it for these problems.